Hey, we got some people in already. All right. Welcome back to WMMA Now, and welcome to episode number 137 of WMMA Report, live regular show where we go over everything going on within the world of the women's divisions of mixed martial arts. Tonight, got a pretty short show planned, mainly just going over results, news, and then going into the weekend preview. We're going to keep it nice, short, and sweet tonight because I'm tired. I want to go to bed. But there are some good fights going on this weekend. Some good stuff to look forward to. We've got Invicta on Wednesday, and it's a good card. I think people are really underrating it. But we're gonna start where. Oh, before we get into that, if you are on Twitter, you can follow me here at NowWMMA. If you're not on Twitter, great. Stay off Twitter. It is a horrible place. What else? No, that's it. Anyway, let's get into where we always start with the weekend results. So we're going back to last Friday. Mid LFA 142 had two ladies bouts. First up at Strawweight, Giovanna Canuto defeated Jamie Colleen Miller via unanimous decision. Canuto climbed to 4-0. Miller fell to 5-4. Not that surprised by this one. I mean, Miller hadn't fought since I think 2019. Yeah, 2019. So I mean, you take 3 years off, you're going to look rusty. And she looked rusty, but also credit to Canuto, really great ground game. You know, LFA does do a good job of scouting ladies that are really good on the ground. Canuto wasn't able to get a finish anywhere, but really good top control. Then also on that card in the main event, we had a title fight at Strawweight. Jacqueline Emory defeated Ashley Nichols via submission due to armbar. 4 minutes, 39 seconds of the first round. Amerim stayed undefeated, climbing to 6-0. Nichols fell to 4-4. This was another layup bout, pretty much for Amerim. I'm not a huge fan of LFA's matchmaking. That's all there is to it. This is like the second fight in a row where they gave her someone who's a good striker, but has zero takedown defense. So. But we got some more news on Jackie Amerim coming up, and we'll get to that in a moment. Let me move to Combate Global. Was also last Friday night. Had one bout in the ladies division. Claudia Zamora on the right-hand side there defeated Elizabeth Phillips via unanimous decision. Zamora climbed to 5-3. Phillips fell to 7-9. I didn't watch this one. It was on way too late at night. But you know, maybe Liz Phillips would have better results if she fought more than once a year. Just saying. And on Saturday night, we had the UFC, had a few ladies bouts. First up at flyweight, Jillian Robertson defeated Maria Agapova via submission due to rear naked choke. 2:19 of the second round. Robertson climbed to 11-7. Agapova fell to 10-4. Whew, this one, that was a gnarly choke. I mean, Agapova was out, and that was scary looking. I'm not going to lie, that was scary. Then, you know, Agapova is one of those fighters. You watch her for a few minutes, and you think, wow, this girl has a lot of potential. She could do big things. And then stuff just starts like not going her way, and she just like crumbles. I mean, just completely crumbles. And it's a shame, because I think she is talented. She's talented. She has ability. She seems athletically gifted. It's just so much of what she does is in her head. She has that front runner syndrome where as long as she's doing good, she's doing good. But the moment she is not doing good, she might as well be working in reverse. It's a shame. But Jillian Robertson continues to set records. I think she has the most finishes in the women's flyweight division in the UFC. She has the most submissions. I forget what else. Easy E in the chat says if Robertson was even a remote threat on her feet, she would be very dangerous. Yes, I totally agree. And well, now apparently she's at, like, she has found a new home. Like, she's actually training in an actual gym now at the Goat Shed down there in Miami. And hopefully, like, that'll help her improve on the feet. Hoping so. We'll see, though. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see. But I agree. If Robertson was a decent threat on the feet, she'd be top 10 easily. It's just her lack of striking is killing her. Then at strawweight, where am I at? Loma Lookboonmee defeated Denise Gomes via unanimous decision. Lookboonmee climbed to 7-3. Gomes fell to 6-2, or Gomes. I don't know how you say it. Not a good performance for Denise Gomes. Now, granted, she took this fight on, like, what, less than 2 weeks' notice? So that's forgivable. Lookboonmee, I think what I like the most about Lookboonmee is, like, they took a really talented, like, a phenomenal Muay Thai fighter, and they haven't really tried to change her too much. Like, they've rounded out her game just enough that she is still great on the feet, but also she can do work on the ground, particularly on top. Like, they're not trying to make her a super grappler. They're not trying to make her a wrestler. They're not trying to make her a super well-rounded fighter. What they've done with Lookboonmee, and I think this can't be overlooked, is they've taken what works for her and really focused on that and building her game around what she does best. Because if you look at her on the ground, she gets on top. She's mostly fighting as if she were in the clinch in the stand-up. She's not, like, doing super guard passes. She's not doing, like, super submissions or anything. She's mostly focused on staying on top, staying in guard or half guard, and laying down ground and pound, particularly with the elbows, and mostly trying to stay off of her back, where she's going to be super vulnerable. So I like what her coaches, the Hickman brothers over there, they used to be at Tiger Muay Thai. Now they're at Bang Tao Muay Thai over there in Phuket. They've done a really great job of taking what she does and expanding on it for MMA without, watering down her skills, without trying to overly broaden her skill set or anything. That's something that a lot of fighters come from a certain art or, like one particular background, and then they just completely move away from that, and it hurts them in the long run. Whereas I feel like with Loma, they've done a good job with that. I still think she's undersized for 115, but they're doing a good job with her. For Gomes, that was her UFC debut, I believe. She got signed off of the Contender Series a couple months back, but she might be able to rebound from that. Tell you one thing she won't be able to rebound from is bad tattoos. Not so easy to rebound from. Unfortunately, we didn't get the bantamweight bout between Aspen Ladd and Sarah McMahon. Ladd missed weight again, and the fight didn't happen. And McMahon still got her money, though, and she has now entered free agency. So we'll see what she's doing. It's a shame because, McMahon, I think I mentioned this I can't remember where I mentioned this. Might have been on a forum somewhere, but, McMahon is not getting any younger. I mean, she's about to be, whew, in just a few hours, she's about to be 42. And we just lost out on another fight of hers. And it's like, she doesn't have a whole lot of time left. And that's a full fight camp wasted. Basically a full fight wasted that didn't happen. And it's just really disappointing. But we'll see what she does with her. She's testing the free agency waters, but I gotta wonder who's gonna want to sign her at this point. I mean, Bellator, maybe Bellator, but they'll want her to fight at featherweight. I heard someone mention PFL in my comments, but someone else responded that she'd be too undersized and too old, and I have to agree with that sentiment. I'm most likely she ends up back with the UFC for another fight or two. Well, what they'll do is they'll sign her for like 6 fights to the point that she'll just retire in the UFC. But it's a real shame, and now UFC has to figure out what to do with Aspen Ladd because there is no featherweight division, and she can't make bantamweight reliably. So, what do you do with Aspen Ladd? Anyway, this is either Sunday or Monday. 9/19 Sunday. Had Shudo over there in Tokyo. Had 2 ladies bouts. First up, Yuki Ono on the right-hand side there defeated Hisai Watanabe via submission due to armbar in the second round in their atomweight bout. Ono climbed to 2-2. Watanabe fell to 21-8. Hisai Watanabe, she took a break for a while, several years. From like 2016, well, she took a break from 2012 to 2016. She fought twice in 2016. Didn't fight again until 2022, like early January. Picked up a win, but now she's on 2 straight losses since then. Got finished both times. She's 41 years old. She's just over the hill, I think, at this point, which is sad because she is one of the legendary fighters from Japan, like early WMMA fighters from Japan. I made videos about her. She was like the original women's MMA knockout queen. And they usually say power is the last thing to go, but we haven't seen a good demonstration of her power in a long time. I don't know. I just think she's done, which is a shame. But it happens. You age, and then you're gone. Also on that card, up at flyweight, Megumi Sugimoto came in on 3 days' notice, replacing a fighter who had visa issues to take on Rika Emiko. I don't know what her name is anymore. Rika Emiko for a majority draw after 2 rounds. Got to give credit to Sugimoto because she usually fights at strawweight, super atom weight. Moved up to flyweight on short notice to take on, I believe, a more experienced fighter. Yeah, a bit more experienced fighter. And get a draw out of this. So good for her. It's not a loss, which is, usually what happens when you take a fight on short notice. Rika Emiko is another one of those fighters. It's she's old, and I'm just sick of seeing her. She's like one of these fighters who is, I don't know, I guess she has fans. I guess, I don't know. It's just that she never steps up in her game, really. And when she does, she loses. She either fights people who have almost no experience whatsoever, or fights somebody smaller that they pull up in weight. Sometimes it's both. But I mean, you look at a lot of her record, and it's like fighters who have no fights whatsoever, or they have losing records. Most of the time, she fights someone with a winning record, she loses. I'm just sick of seeing her. She's like one of these old biddies of JMMA that it's like, oh, just please retire already. I'm sick of seeing you just fed can after can after can already. It's like been too many years of this crap. Is that it? That is. Oh, and last fight we'll review. This just happened a few hours earlier. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but Leah McCourt defeated Diana Silva in a featherweight bout at Bellator Dublin, Bellator 285, I believe, earlier. Forgot to bring this one up. Let me see. What does it move their records to? Really? Here it is. Henderson versus Quilly. McCourt climbed to 7-2. Silva fell to 10-8. Good for McCourt. Doesn't really do anything as far as the rankings go because she's already ranked higher. Haven't watched the fight yet, so I can't really comment on it. But that is it for the results. Let's check out the chat here. Easy E says, any chance McMahon goes to PFL? She needs easy money at this point. Is it really easy money if you're taking on giants? There aren't many great wrestlers in PFL besides Kayla, though. That's true. Based on her build, she make 155 easy. All she'd have to do is eat more. Yeah. Then finally, I never thought Hisai would still be fighting. I remember watching pretty much all of her early fights. She was always exciting to watch. Yeah. I mean, she's one of those fighters. It's like she's either finishing opponents or when she loses, she does tend to get finished. So, I mean, she's not looking good lately. I mean, she did pick up a win, but that was against someone making their pro debut. That was back in January. And then her last two fights, I mean, she lost to Chihiro Sawada via early submission in the second round, and Sawada was 1-0-1 at the time. And now she's losing to Yuki Ono, who is 1-2-2. It's time to pack it up. She's getting submitted, too, a lot. Don't want to be doing that. Yeah, she just needs to pack it up. Anyway, let's get into the news. Try to get through these quick. Okay, first up, one on Prime Video 6. That's one championship on Amazon Prime Video 6. Goes down January 13th, and they've added a mixed rules bout between Stamp Fairtex and Anissa Mexon. So it's going to be 1 round Muay Thai, 1 round MMA, 1 round Muay Thai, 1 round MMA. Here's what's crazy about this, though. Like, both of those ladies are fighting a week from today. What if one of them gets hurt? It's like you announced a fight before both of them even get through their upcoming fights. That could blow up in your face. And while I wouldn't wish that on the fighters, if it happened, I'll be laughing at one because it's just stupid. Then we have LFA. It goes down end of this month on the 30th. I think, is that next weekend? Next Friday, LFA 143 in Brazil has 2 bouts. A strawweight bout between Rose Brito Conceição and Mayara Thays. And then a flyweight bout, Gabriela Fernandez taking on Carolyn Martins. And then Jorge Masvidal's Icon FC5 goes down October 14th in Savannah, Georgia, as a featherweight bout. Michelle Montague coming in 1-0, taking on Danielle Wynn coming in at 1-3. I think most of Wynn's fights have been at Icon. Then Octagon 36 goes down October 15th in Frankfurt, Germany. They added a strawweight bout. Katarina Delita coming in at 6-3. She's taking on UFC veteran Mallory Martin coming in at 7-5. So good to see Octagon continuing on the ladies' fights. And then Bellator 289 goes down December 9th. We're getting the rematch, the flyweight championship. Liz Carmouche taking on the challenger, Juliana Vazquez. I'm honestly really happy that they made that bout. I thought that stoppage was premature in the first fight. So really happy that Bellator is running that one back. Then Lux 28 goes down November 18th in Monterrey, Mexico. And this will be available on UFC Fight Pass. They have a title fight doubleheader for the ladies. 2 ladies title fights in one night. Flyweight main event, Victoria Alba defending her title for the first time against Elizabeth Rodriguez. And then in the co-main event, we have an interim strawweight championship between Shokoromo and Andrea Vazquez. So the current strawweight champ, Sarai Orozco, she has a chance to be on that Exatlon show. I think it's called that in like the Mexican version of the Exatlon. So that could be good for her. You know, that show seems to propel people and get them really noticed in the Latin American community. So, you know, it'll be good for Lux and good for Sarai Orozco to get out there and get her name out there. And then Shudo Gig Tokyo 35 goes down October 15th in Tokyo. They added an atomweight bout. Yasuko Tamada taking on Sakura Tenten. And Easy E in the chat there, you know, mentioned can't believe that Hisei would still be fighting. Hisei is only 41. Yasuko Tamada is like 50. Yasuko Tamada is 55 years old. Good Lord. She is 17, 13-3. And she's taking on a debutante. And you know what? This is about the only time I'm not going to get mad at a fighter with that much experience taking on a debutante. Because she's old. I mean, she's seriously grandma age. And then where else was I? Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, next week, Christina Williams had to drop out of Invicta 49. She is being replaced in the co-main event, the flyweight co-main event, by Mayu Suatama, who's she's fought for Invicta a few times, also a Strikeforce veteran. And then Aries 9 goes down November 3rd in Paris. They added a bantamweight bout, pair of undefeated fighters, Russia's Daria Zalesnikova, taking on, I believe she's American, Melissa Dixon. But both fighters are undefeated, so that should make for a good one. And then LFA strawweight champ Jackie Amerim has been signed to the UFC. She just won her first title defense last Friday. She's currently undefeated at 6-0. Very legit threat on the ground. Here's the thing, though. The kid gloves are likely off now. I mean, she might get an opponent who can't defend a takedown, but probably only for her first fight. Other than that, she's now in the deep end. Doubt the UFC is going to be giving her matchups as favorable as those LFA is giving. So that will be interesting because I really want to see her challenged. Oh, some more news out of Invicta. So Invicta FC is now going to air in Mexico on Fox Sports. It's pretty big, you know, an actual cable network on Fox Sports in Mexico. So now they have a way to air on TV south of the border, which is good. I just hope that they don't get like preempted for like, you know, local high school soccer games or something. That happened to Bellator back when Bellator was first starting out. They were on Fox Sports, and they would get like preempted for like high school football games or something. I'd be mad. Like I would stay home instead of, because I was living in Las Vegas at the time, and on my Friday night I would stay home to watch Bellator, and then they would get preempted for high school soccer, and I'd be mad because then you couldn't even watch it with the freaking DVR. Couldn't even, you know, DVR it. So I just hope that doesn't happen to Invicta. Anyway, Deep Okinawa Impact goes down October 30th in Okinawa. They've added an exhibition bout between local favorite Mizuki Nisei Oshiro and Kate Lotus Oyama. Just a little fun exhibition bout in order to get, you know, the local favorite fighter on there, but also to showcase Deep newest their current pretty girl fighter in Kate Lotus. And then Deep 1/10 Impact goes down November 12th in Tokyo. They have the Microweight Championship. Saori Oshima defending that title for the first time against Mizuki Furuse. I like that fight. I did a video on it. You can go check it out later. But Oshima won that title, I think, back in 2020, maybe even 2019. Hasn't defended it since then. She's since gone on to win the Deep Jewels Atomweight title, and she's fought in Ryzen as well. Furuse, bit of a middling fighter, but does her best work at microweight, so should make for a good one. Anyway, that is it for the news for this week. So let's move on. Like I said, we're going to keep going tonight. Not going to go too long. Let's see. Easy E in the chat says, yeah, I think Vazquez gets it done this time against Liz. I can't pretend that Liz wasn't gifted that night. Yeah, I agree 100%. Let's get into the weekend preview. First up, tomorrow night. Usually we got Combate Global on Friday night, but they are having a special Saturday show. I believe it's being like kicked off by like a big soccer game right before that on Univision, so should help with their ratings. Anyway, we have two ladies bouts, including the headliner. But first, we have a weird 113-pound catchweight bout. Julia Chinello on the left-hand side there, taking on Jay Durand on the right. 113-pound catchweight. Anyway, the Eagle Chinello coming in with a record of 3-6. The Princess Durand coming in at 1-2. Chinello's lost her last 3 straight fights, going back a little over a year. Most recently, lost via TKO 3 months ago. Durand coming off of her first pro win in Combate about 4 months ago, picked up a majority decision win. Let's see. Chinello's the elder fighter, 29-21 for Durand. 1 inch taller, 5 feet 3 inches, 160 centimeters to 5 feet 2 inches, 157 centimeters for Durand. Durand's going to be undersized in this one. I have no doubt about that because, I mean, she's fought at atomweight, and I don't think Chinello has actually fought below strawweight. Let me verify that, though. Strawweight. Nope, she has never fought below strawweight. So Giron's definitely going to be undersized. Very dangerous on the feet is Giron. Canelo, not that great on the ground anyway, which will help Giron. I'm going to go with Canelo to win here. I think the experience gets her through, and the size is definitely going to help. So I'll go with Julia Canelo, the one in the blue there, to win this one. Then we have the main event, and Combate has been hyping the heck out of this bout. I mean, they actually announced this fight before fight week, so we know they want people to tune in for this one. But we have Lucero La Loba Acosta taking on Mariel Solomon, and what is apparently a grudge match as well. But La Loba coming in at 2-2, Solomon coming in at 2-1. Acosta's coming off of a split decision loss in her last bout about a year ago. Hasn't fought since then. I think she got injured. Solomon's coming in off of a win via submission 4 months ago. Before that, picked up a loss via disqualification. Ooh, disqualification due to headbutts a year ago. Nice. Let's see. Solomon is 1 year younger, 29, to Acosta's 30. They are the same height, 5 feet 6 inches, 168 centimeters. According to Topology, Acosta has the reach advantage, 69 inches, 175 centimeters to 65 inches, 165 centimeters for Mariel Solomon. So apparently, these two were training down at the Goat Shed in Florida earlier this year, like back around March or so. And they were supposed to do just some light sparring. And then I forget what the hell the story goes, but one of them started going hard. And then the other started going hard. And they haven't liked each other ever since then. So we got big rivalry coming into this one. Acosta does hit hard. She has genuine knockout power. Does Solomon have any finishes? Solomon won her last bout via submission. Doesn't really have to. That's about her only finish, really. Well, she does have one finish back in the amateurs, but you got to be honest here. This fight is more about the looks of both fighters than the skills. I mean, both are good-looking girls, good-looking ladies. Combate's probably going to do really well with this one. As for the pick, I'm going to take Solomon to win. She's been more active recently. So I got to wonder if ring rust is going to affect Acosta. I think she's a more better put together fighter as well. So I'm going with Mariel Solomon. But either result wouldn't surprise me. But I got to give, here's one thing. Like, I got to give Combate Global credit for putting a fight on Saturday when there's no UFC. So no UFC, and they have an event on Saturday. This was smart thinking. Bellator should have done this with their show this weekend. They had it on Friday. They should have seen if they could put it on Saturday. Now, granted, you can't always just work around the UFC because you don't. I know Bellator doesn't plan their events out as far as the UFC does. And sometimes it just depends on the venue where you're going as much as anything else. But I do got to give Combate credit because they're almost always on Friday nights. And here you got no UFC on Saturday. So they put their event on Saturday, which gives the regular Saturday night MMA watchers something to watch. Plus, they're on Univision, and they have a big soccer game lead-in. So they'll probably kill it in the ratings on Univision. Anyway, early Sunday morning, we have Ryzen 38. And Ryzen, by the way, is back on fight.tv. That's FITE.tv. So you can order it for a small fee. I think the Ryzen 38 card is like $14.99. So not expensive at all. And we have the semifinals of the 2022 Super Atomweight Grand Prix. First up, we have Ayaka Hamasaki taking on Shiyu Park. Now, I did a full breakdown video of both of these semifinal bouts. So if you want, go check that out later. I'm just going to give the basic stats for now. Hamasaki coming in at 24-5. Park coming in at 8-4. Hamasaki won against Jessica Aguilar in the quarterfinals. Shiyu Park beat Kana Asakura in the quarterfinals, both at the same event. Excuse me, a month and a half ago. I'm taking Hamasaki to win this one, but it wouldn't surprise me if Park wins. I mean, Park has been doing a lot of improving since she basically moved to Japan full-time and started training there, working on her wrestling and her grappling with Miyu Yamamoto. Has really helped her takedown defense come a long way. And with her improvement in takedown defense, her striking has gotten better. I'm not sure which gym she's working on striking at. I know she is going to a gym to work on her striking. I'm just not sure which one. But her striking has come a long way too. And so I'm taking Hamasaki, just being the more well-rounded fighter. But Hamasaki's getting up there in age. Her two most recent wins are over fighters her own age, around 40. Whereas Park is, 9 years younger at 31. So it wouldn't surprise me if Park gets the upset. And I just saw the odds right before I started. I saw the opening betting odds, and they are very close for this bout, like very close. Let me see if I can pull them up real quick. Just saw. Well, let me check Twitter real quick. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Hamasaki. Oh, wow. So best fight odds. Well, Betway has Shiyu Park at a -150 favorite and Hamasaki at a +110. There has been some line movement for Shiyu Park since opening. So what's this ref? I'm not sure what ref is. Ref actually has an even bigger favorite. Park -155, Hamasaki +125. So if you can get Hamasaki at +125 odds, that might be a good bet to take there. Hamasaki +125. So if you can get Hamasaki, excuse me. Anyway, also in the other semifinal bout, we have Seika Izawa taking on replacement Anastasia Svetkivska. Izawa was supposed to be facing Reina, but Reina had to drop out due to a fractured orbital bone suffered in her fight against Svetkivska. So Svetkivska was invited back into the Grand Prix. Izawa comes in at 7-0. Svetkivska comes in at 2-1. My pick here is Izawa. And it comes down to this. Do I think that Vazquez can stop the takedown of Izawa? Yes. But can she do it across 3 rounds? No. And if it's only a matter of time till Izawa gets her down, then it's only a matter of time after that until Izawa gets a submission. Because Izawa's a finishing machine. So I think it's just going to come down to that. Like, how long does it take for Izawa to get the takedown? And then the submission. So going with Seika Izawa. What are the odds on this one? Much bigger. Izawa is a minus 350 favorite. That's the best odds on that, to plus 240. Or another one has it. Wow. One place has Izawa minus 500 to Vazquez plus 375. So if you can, Betway has Izawa at minus 350. So if you're going to put money on Izawa, do it through Betway. So that's Ryzen 38. And then Wednesday, we have Invicta 49. And I'm not going to go deep into the details on these fights either, because I'm still going to work on a preview for it, either Monday or Tuesday night after the weigh-ins. But some good fights here. You know, people keep crapping on the Invicta cards lately, but I think this is a good Invicta card here. I mean, you have the championship at the top. You have a Strikeforce veteran in the co-main event. It was a Bellator veteran. You have 1, 2, 3 Ultimate Fighter veterans from the most recent Ultimate Fighter. And you have a UFC veteran. That's a good card. This is a good card. And these matchups are all going to be competitive too. Anyway, starting out, we have a strawweight bout. Nadia Vera taking on Shauna Bannon, excuse me. Vera comes in at 3-0-1. Bannon at 2-0. My money is going to be on Shauna Bannon to win. Then we have a bantamweight bout. Brittany Cloudy coming in at 4-4, taking on Montserrat Rendon at 4-0. I am taking. I'm going to take Cloudy on this one. Mostly because I haven't really had time to watch any tape on Rendon. So we'll take Brittany Cloudy to win. Then we have the Ultimate Fighter veteran Helen Peralta coming in at 5-2, taking on UFC veteran Poliana Botelho, coming in at 8-5 at flyweight. I'm going to take Botelho to win this one. I mean, she's been on a bit of a skid lately. But, yeah, 3-fight losing streak. But it's not like she's been going out there getting absolutely well, she got killed by Corinne Silva. But other than that, it's not like she's been getting destroyed. And I just think she's a better fighter than Helen Peralta overall. So, taking Botelho to win that one. Then we have another flyweight bout. Caitlin Neal taking on Hannah Guy. Battle of Ultimate Fighter 30 contestants. Neal coming in at 5-4. Guy coming in at 4-1. And I'm taking Caitlin Neal. I just think she's the overall better fighter. She certainly faced better competition than Hannah Guy has. I mean, not super better, but better than not super better, but still better. So I'm taking Caitlin Neal. Then we have a strawweight bout. Liz Tracy taking on Valeska Machado. Liz Tracy coming in at 7-4. Machado coming in at 9-3. Taking Liz Tracy to win this one. Machado is a smaller fighter. Like, she fought a bit of her career at atom weight, so she's not like a natural strawweight like Tracy is. I think Tracy used to fight at flyweight even. Let me see. Yeah, Tracy's the bigger fighter. And Tracy just has that style. Like, it's not super exciting, but she can just really grind down on fighters. Just really draw a fight down into a grind, which I feel is going to favor her here, particularly with the size advantage. So I'm taking Liz Tracy to win. Then we have a flyweight bout, Mayu Suwatama taking on Ketlin Souza, and I got to go with Souza here. I like Mayu, but she's taking this fight on short notice. Mayu's coming in at 8-6. Souza's coming in at 11-3. It's really hard to pick a fighter coming in on short notice, so I'm taking Ketlin Souza. Then in the main event, Atomweight Championship, Jessica Del Boni, the champ, coming in at 12-3, taking on Jillian DeCourcy, coming in at 5-3. I'm going with Del Boni here. It's hard not to. It's hard not to. She's been more active in the past year, past few years, really. And her wins are better. Now, granted, they have two common opponents, Lindsey Van Zandt and Alicia Zapatella. Now, Van Zandt, Del Boni beat her twice via submission, whereas DeCourcy just fought her and beat her by knockout. They also have common opponent in Alicia Zapatella. Del Boni beat her once via decision and lost via split decision in the first fight that a lot of people thought was really just bad judging. Whereas DeCourcy fought Zapatella way back in, 2018? Yep, 2018, and lost via decision. Yeah, I'm going with Jessica Del Boni to retain her title in this one. So that is it for the weekend preview, and really that's it for the show. So let's see what's going on in the chat. Easy E, the lone chat warrior tonight, says Nadia Vera doing her best to look like Karina Dom in that poster. Karina Dom reference is really showing my age here. Yeah. I remember when Karina Dom was doing really well in, what was that, GCM there over in Japan? What was that promotion? When they nicknamed her Beastie Barbie, or Barbie but the Beast, something like that. Where was that at? That was a long time ago. Mars. That was at Mars in Japan. Mars was a good freaking show too. Yeah, Mars. Whew, that takes me back. Eddie Alvarez fought for them in Japan back in 2006. Man. And Karina Dom was doing pretty good. Took a loss to Miku Matsumoto, and then I think picked up a win after that. Well, she split fights with Miku, the great Miku Matsumoto. One of the great ones. Man. She retired early. Way too early, I think. But, yeah, Karina Dom. That brings back memories. Anyway, that's it for the show. Like I said, I wanted to keep it short. And it was a short notice stream as well. But I wanted to get one in this week because I didn't last week. But I like no UFC this week, but we still got some good fights. I think the fights at Combate will be good tomorrow night. The Ryzen fight should be great. And Invicta. And who doesn't like Invictas? So looking forward to this week. But other than that, that is it for tonight. So If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like. Hit that like button, please. Gets the screen going in that algorithm. And go ahead and subscribe to WMMA Scene Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated channel on YouTube. I mentioned this earlier at the start of the show, but if you are on Twitter, you can follow me at NowWMMA. I try to live tweet during fights that I talk about on the show. Try to. It depends. Also, I'm not sleeping. But to do that, if you're not on Twitter, stay off of Twitter. It's better for your mental health. But other than that, that's really all I have for you tonight. So stay classy, and we'll see you. What have I got coming up this week? So probably not going to do anything Sunday night. Not going to do a recap or anything. Definitely going to try to get a preview done for Invicta either Monday or Tuesday night. Because I'll be busy Sunday. What else? Oh, One Championship is next weekend. Big One Championship show. One on Prime Video 2. Headlined by Xiong versus Angela Lee 3. Angela Lee is challenging for Xiong's title. I plan on doing a live fight companion for that one. So stay tuned. Got to do a live fight companion for that one. That fight's going to be big. So looking forward to that one. What else is next week? There's a bunch of good stuff next weekend. We also got, what is the UFC? I think it's Grasso versus Araujo headlining next Saturday. So we got Invicta Wednesday, One Championship with 2 shows on Friday, one in the morning, one in the evening if you're in the U.S. LFA have any ladies fights? What's LFA got going on? Yep, got 2 ladies fights on LFA Friday night. And then Saturday we got UFC. We got Bellator as well on Saturday. So what's Bellator got going on? I gotta remind myself. Bellator has Sumiko Inaba taking on Nadine Mandial. Fun to watch for Mandial or Inaba, but she's getting a bit of a layup in Nadine Mandial. And then, okay, not the headline I thought it was. Next week's UFC is Mackenzie Dern taking on Yan Xiaonan. That should be a fun one. We also have Yulia Stoyarenko taking on Chelsea Chandler. And Jessica Penny taking on Tabitha Ricci. That's going to be a fun one, too. So looking forward to those. So we got a good weekend this weekend, and we've got a really good week coming up next week. So stay tuned for everything. Stay tuned to the channel for the latest news. Community posts are good. Try to do some shorts as well and some fight reviews for this weekend. So stay tuned. But that's really all I have for tonight. So we'll see you next time.